Hello, everybody. It's me, Andrew Columbro, here again from Saavi Services for the Blind for another episode of Meet the Blind for this month's National Blind Awareness Month. I'm here joined by Jeremy Schmidt. Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us this morning. How are you doing?
Doing well, Andrew. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. And with that, we're just going to start off. What is your role at Saavi? What do you do?
I'm a Access Technology Instructor with Saavi. I've been doing this about 5 years.
Nice. And what was your past experience before you got into Saavi?
Before working with Saavi, I worked in the blindness industry in the technology field, working with some different startups and some apps. But before then, blindness, I was, with a search and rescue team and very active into the outdoors.
Nice. Yeah, I know. I've heard that you're quite the outdoorsman yourself, and that you love hiking during your free time. Maybe talking about what does staying active mean to you, and what about hiking interests you the most?
Yeah, staying active to me is being physical, I suppose. So I like being outdoors, hiking, climbing, skiing, anything outside, anything hopefully involving ropes and a little excitement. But I do a lot of rock climbing, mountaineering, hiking, and skiing. And so I'm constantly just planning my next adventure.
Yeah, and with that, have you been able to hike a lot during quarantine? And if so, what have been your most recent expeditions or trips that you've been going on?
Good question. So, with COVID, this has been difficult, to say the least. So for all of us, but one thing that hasn't been closed are the hiking trails in the mountains. You can't close a whole mountain range. And so I was lucky enough to receive a permit, a highly sought after permit to climb Mount Whitney. That's the tallest mountain in the lower 48 states. It's in California in the Sierra Nevadas, for July, actually, for my birthday. And just happened to be a coincidence. And so successfully climbed Mount Whitney in a day. Lots of folks do it in more than a day. We did 22 miles of hiking in a day and summited the highest point in the lower 48 and kept going. So that was back in July. So then we just last month hit the second tallest mountain in the country, in Colorado. It's Mount Elbert, and then kept going, hit the third tallest, Mount Massive in Colorado. And so now we're planning for number 4 and 5 coming up in the spring.
That's cool. Yeah, you might as well get all 3 done right out of the bat. Just go 1, 2, 3. No, that's cool. Yeah. And so with trying to stay, what would you say is probably your favorite outdoor activity out of all of those that you just mentioned?
Probably climbing, rock climbing, like vertical rock. Those mountains weren't technical. You didn't need any rock climbing equipment, but they were beautiful and it was an accomplishment. But I really enjoy climbing vertical rock because of my vision's not a factor. It's tactile. I can feel my holds. I climb in a certain way that it's called traditional climbing. So I place my own equipment into the cliff so I don't fall to the ground. And so it's on my own terms. So I can feel the holds and follow the crack as it works its way up the cliff and place equipment into the crack when I'm feeling a little unsafe. And it's just that feeling of the freedom and the excitement, of course. And still to this day, rock climbing is my passion.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've also seen a lot because I've only lived in Arizona for the last 2 years. I'm originally from Washington, but the types of hikes are way different. There's a couple of hikes here in Arizona. They just pretty much feel like you're just rock climbing at least. But
right.
I gotta ask, since you have so much background in this, what is your favorite hike in Arizona? I gotta find some new ones to check out.
Favorite hike in Arizona? Wow, that's a good one because we have so much. One of my favorites, it's called Salome Jug. It's east of Roosevelt Lake. So it's east of Phoenix a little ways. It's a semi-technical slot canyon. It's a beautiful granite slot canyon with some swimming and wading and water slides. And there's a small rappel, but the rappel is so small, I've seen guys jump off of it into the water below. So it's just this beautiful little swimming hole and slot canyon out in the middle of the desert. It's awesome.
That's cool. No, so like you can actually like land, is it like in the middle of the hike, or is it kind of like at the end of the hike, then you get the water?
It's during it. It's really cool. So you start hiking down into a canyon, and the canyon walls slowly build up higher and higher as you're going deeper into the canyon, and it gets tighter and tighter to the point you can touch each wall. And then there's a pool you'll swim through, and then a little more hiking and a little more swimming, and it's nonstop. It's always throwing something at you.
No, yeah, that's cool. No, I definitely have to try that out sometime. And with that, I just have one more question to wrap up this year episode, Jeremy. How did you get started with Saavi, and what does being a part of Saavi mean to you in terms of being an employee?
Yeah, I got started. So like I said, I've been with Saavi 5 years now, and got started with Saavi. Well, there was a vacancy. Of course, they were looking for a tech instructor. And at the time, I was contracting with the VA hospital doing technology instruction. And rather than traveling around from client's home to client's home, it was wonderful to have a classroom and an actual training center and a beautiful office and to go to. And so Saavi was just a great opportunity. I was in the right place at the right time. And, I've been there happily ever since. It means a lot. Saavi is an organization that has its employees' backs. We have our clients' backs. We really care, I was on a call with a client a little after 6 a.m. this morning, and nowhere is that in my job description. That's just the type of staff that we have, and I am, and the type of agency we are. We'll just do what we need to do to make sure our students succeed. And that's rare, having a whole company of everybody on the same page that really has that commitment.
Yeah, I've definitely so far just from interviewing other Saavi employees, I really start to see the word family used a lot, and I can kind of see why.
Right, exactly. It's a big family.
Gotcha. And with you, Jeremy, we're gonna wrap up this year episode of Meet the Blind. Thank you so much for your insight, your time, and your effort. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, thanks. You too, Andrew.
And remember, here at Saavi, it's not what you can see, it's about who you are.